Good morning and hello. Say good morning, wife.
Morning.
I'm out with Mrs. C again. We are up on the northeast coast of England, we're at Seaham. We're at Seaham Glass Beach. Now, Seaham Glass Beach is quite famous all over the world, I think, especially here in America. But we're not here for that, even though we will be, and it'll be really nice. Yeah, you are. Seaham Glass Beach. There's some nice little things down there on the beach to photograph, you know, some sort of minimal shots. So I'm going to try and do some long exposures with the rocks appearing out of the water and stuff like that, and maybe some sea defences. We'll have a look. But while we're here, we're also going to be treasure hunting. Yes, you're right, I did say treasure hunting. Seaham Glass Beach is famous for its sea glass. Yeah. It's not the easiest information to find, but we have found some information this morning. And in 1850
until 1921, the
Glassworks, biggest glass factory in the UK, wasn't it?
London Dairy.
And they used to dump all the waste glass out in the North Sea. Consequently, every time the tide washes in, it washes up the beach. Now, yes, people have been picking this for decades, so there's not a lot to find. But we were up this morning at 5 o'clock, and by 5:30 I could already see people down on the beach looking. And I was down on the beach last night when it was going dark, and again, they were still on the beach looking. So yeah, Mrs. C's definitely going to have her head down most of the morning. And to be honest, we would absolutely love to find some treasure of sea glass, because some of it is 100 years old. You know, that's pretty amazing. And in America, it's a sought-after treasure, isn't it? So sort of. Yeah. Not as famous as gold, but definitely treasure. So this is Seaham Beach. Literally, we're right on top of it. So we've left the van, and this is where we are. So I am going to be walking up and down. I was actually just sort of over my shoulder there. And there's some rocks just sticking out the water now. So that's going to be my first port of call, to get these rocks, do a couple of nice long exposures for you, and then we're going to see if Mrs. C can find some treasure, because I would absolutely love to go home with a couple of little bits of sea glass. I would be made up. It'd be amazing. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. Right, now I haven't even put my tripod down, it's still under my arm, and Mrs. C's already, or to be honest, both of us, I was going to say the three of us, me, you and the tripod, we literally walked on the beach, and we've come from there to here, and she's already got a small handful of glass. Now it's only white glass, you can see there, it's only white glass, but that just goes to prove that there's glass on this beach and it's easy to find. So yeah, we're definitely on for this now. That's it, I'm going to forget the photography. No, I'm not. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to have a look at these rocks, and while I'm walking, I'm going to have my eyes down on the floor, because we want to find those perfect marbles that's been picked up on this beach. But oh, I'm all excited now. Right, so I'm just going to make my way down now to these rocks on the beach. I've just put my camera on the tripod, so he's put my bag down in the muddy bit. And these rocks are quite nice because they're a nice, bright, shiny, creamy colour. So they stand out a bit different than the normal average rocks. And the tide's got a nice wash to it as well, so a nice bit of movement. But not only are there sea glass, and I literally put my bag down just now, and I've just found another little piece of sea glass, a nice little round green piece. So I'll put that in my pocket for Mrs. C. But also on the beach, right next to my camera bag, are these. If you can see these. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them okay, but these have got little lines in them and stuff like that. These are actually fossils. They are corals. They are something like 450 million years old. So these are fossils. And this coastline's full of fossils as well. But yeah, I literally picked them up right next to my camera bag when I put it on the beach. So it's quite possible to find fossils and all sorts of stuff down here. I'm not going to keep the fossils because I've got hundreds of these at home. Every time we come up on this north coast, I always pick up a few. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see, you know, like 450 million year old corals. So I'm quite impressed. I love stuff like this, absolutely love stuff. I'm not a hunter, but I love to find it. It's really, really is cool. So I'm going to put these back on the beach, and yeah, let's get some photographs done. So what am I doing, and how am I working my camera out, and what I'm sort of settings am I using? So I'm trying to keep my camera on a sort of shutter speed of between sort of 0.6 of a second, half and 6 of a second, and I'm looking for the movement in the water. So I've got my polarizer on, which is just eliminating a bit of that shine on the water, so it's making it a bit more darker and making the contrast between the rocks stand out a little bit more. And then I'm trying to balance my aperture so it gives me that shutter speed. Now I've taken my 2-second timer off. I don't have a trigger release, or I probably do, it's in my bag but buried. So I'm really just sort of concentrating on using my finger and just being gentle and waiting for the tide to come in, and as the tide rolls back out, then I just click the button a couple of times and try and get those little stripes and that movement of the water coming back in. So it's all about balancing my shutter speed. I could put it over onto manual, which totally controls it, but I just like the fact that my aperture priority gives me my set aperture, and then my shutter speed can vary just slightly. And it's those slight variations that sometimes surprises me and gives me a little bit of something different. But you do have to keep checking as well, and just making sure you've got enough of a shutter speed. Like now at the moment it's gone up to sort of half a second, and it's not quite enough. So I'm just going to sort of I'm going to lift my aperture up, which is going to drop my shutter speed down. The other way to do it is by just putting more ND filters on. But I'm using, like, at the moment I'm on a third, so a third of a second should definitely give me that movement in the water. And the tide's going out very, very quickly, and the rocks are appearing and getting bigger and the water's moving away. So I'm going to try and get a bit closer to the edge and capture something good before the water disappears off the rocks. So there's also a small element of risk taking when you're doing this as well, because I've come up closer to the shoreline. You have to just keep an eye on the tide coming in. Now I've buried my tripod right down into the sand to stop it from vibrating and moving, and I've also got wellies on as well. I've got some brand new wellies on that I'm just getting used to. They are North Cape. I've had 3 pairs of expensive wellies, all Vibram soles, and none of them fit my feet very well, but these ones, I've had them on the last couple of days and they've been quite nice. So I'm just trying them out at the moment. Hopefully they'll be fine for walking around in. Just balancing this exposure again. I'm just trying to get this movement in the water, and it's just fun. This is one of those fun ways of playing with your photography, just trying to look for things, set the camera up. I've got it now in vertical, so the vertical shots seem to be working a lot nicer, looking out to the sea rather than the horizon sort of thing. Is a big wave coming under the bottom of the tripod. Click, 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 3 shots and another one, come over the top, and as it's wrapping itself around the rock, that's when you get this nice movement. And I'm sure one of those is going to have some lovely little streaks in it, so I'm just going to play them back. Very nice, very nice. Okay, 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 very nice, very nice. So there's a few of them. It is really just click, 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 just to get all the movement as it goes back out. So next spot, let's just move along, and I'm just not staying in the same place too long, because once you get half a dozen or so images, it's going to be quite enough. You need to then look for the next composition, so you can have sort of maybe a cryptic of 3. Maybe I can put 3 images up on the screen for you. That's a nice big one. So I'm trying another slightly different tactic now, and I'm getting down really, really low, and I'm focusing right down in the foreground, getting up right nice and close, and just looking at the shapes and the textures in the rocks, and trying to find the detail that I can get in the rocks, because when you get down really low you get some fantastic shapes, and you're quite weird. It almost looks like the chasms in the Grand Canyon and things like that. So I'm just playing with some shots like that at the moment. I took a few up there with the light rocks. Now I've got some nice grey ones with some round gnarly holes in them. So it's just handheld, being as careful as I can to hold the camera as still as possible, and just get all the texture and the gnarliness in the rocks, and looking for gaps and leading lines while I'm doing it as well. And it looks really good. Focus with my thumb and fire with my finger. Watching the polarizer, Mrs. C's just turned up as well, and looks like she's got a bag full of glass. Oh my god, come over and show it on camera. Look at this. Let's just lift you up so we can see.
I'm a fine-tuned glass hunter.
Look at what she's got in her bag. I've got one for you as well.
Look at these though. These have got
these big
lines in.
That's actually a glass as well. Yeah, they got lines in them. Yeah, they have. Well,
like
they're
those.
cool. They'll be the more unique ones.
Yeah.
It's actually got something right in the middle of it. A tiny little line onto it. But yeah, I'll get a picture of all these afterwards, and we'll put them up at the end of the program. She's found another one. She's well on it. She's got a fine-tuned eye. She really has. She's going to be here all day, all day. So we got sidetracked from taking photographs, to be honest, and the tide's well out, well out, and we're probably a couple of hours on since the last time I spoke to you, but we've just been literally walking along the beach, picking up all these tiny little stones and fragments of glass and stuff like that, and we've got quite a collection of, I know this is tiny and very, very small, but we've got a lovely little collection of lots of different colours. We've got some yellows, greens, some blues, some purples. I've just got to put this back in the bag before it gets lost. We've got all sorts of colours, so Denise is going to make some things. I'm going to buy a little tiny miniature bottle, so it's just a bit of fun while we're away, because this is our holidays as well as photographs. But we've come down the beach and we've just found Mr. Sea territory. Look over here, look at that. We have got caves in the cliffs, so we are definitely going to go over there and explore. I'm hoping to try and see if I can find some way of getting a picture of them, because at the moment they look pretty, but if I can get in them and get some shapes or lines or textures, I will definitely get some pictures of those. But that is awesome, really awesome. So I've just been inside and this is amazing. So we've got some really nice textures down here. So if you have a look over my shoulder there's some nice textures in the rocks that I think will make a nice shot. And this is pretty amazing. Denise won't come in here because it's obviously a cave and it's dangerous. Even though this feels really eerie, like you're inside some sort of monument or something. It's really cool. It takes you back to the caveman. It really is. Oh, I love this. That's making you can probably see my smile on my face. It is so amazing. Squeeze between this little gap here with my tripod, and then we're back outside again. But look at this. Look at the hole through here. There's definitely got to be a shot in there somehow. Look at that hole right the way through. I just like the pebbles on it, but amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Right, I'm going to try and get some photographs of this inside here. Let me see what I can do. So I am going full caveman on this. I've got the camera up really high because I've got using the advantage that I've got a taller tripod. So I've lifted my camera up really high. So it's over 6 foot high at the moment. I'm looking down through like a passage all the way through out to the beach. It is absolutely amazing. This is one of those photographs that looks like that Grand Canyon thing where you see all those red rocks, but I haven't got red rocks, I've got yellow. So I'm going to try and pull out these textures. I'm going to try and pull out these colors in the rocks and see if I can make this work, because this looks fantastic. Now I'm going to go back outside. I'm going to try and do the same thing leading through the other side. So I'm going to take a few high shots, verticals, leading through and getting all the lines in it. Then I'm going to try and do a bit more intimate and bring the camera down a little bit closer and get inside these little dark caves and maybe get me torch and shine a light inside and see if that works. But this is awesome. So we're having a bit of a sit down. Madam here's got a bit of a bad back from bending over picking up glass, haven't you? So yeah, we're having a bit of a sit down now. I thoroughly enjoyed walking through them caves. Couldn't get Mrs. C in at all, not at all. Her fun factor's dying off as she's getting older. You know, where you get this sensible head on. I'm just a kid at heart, Peter Pan. What do you mean less on my cheek? Fun factor 2 maybe. No, she does have fun, but she doesn't like to take any risks anymore, do you?
One of us has to be sensible.
One of us has got to be sensible. Good point. Very good point.
And it's not you,
and it's definitely not me. You know how I get led astray when she's not around. But yeah, we've walked up the beach. I'm probably not going to go up any further now. I think we've had enough direction up there, and the tide has turned. It's going to start heading back in now, and we don't want to get cut off further back along.
It's now 10 to 11 and we haven't had
10 to
breakfast yet,
we did promise ourselves a bacon and eggs this morning, didn't we?
No, I said I actually fancied a
cooked breakfast somewhere.
I didn't have to cook.
Yeah, so we need to go and find somewhere to have something, don't we? Or
too late now, breakfast.
Cook in the van.
You're on soup.
We're on soup. No, I'm not having soup. I had soup for my tea last night. The sun's trying to come out as well, so maybe we'll get the camera back out and do some sunset later on. We'll go and find another location. I think it's Salter Holes or something like that. There's a place up there I just want to go and have a look at. Again, when I'm away on holiday, I don't base it all on, or when I'm out with Mrs. C on holiday, should I say, I don't base it all on photography. We like to have a bit of an adventure.
You're such a liar!
We like to have a bit
You organise your holidays around what you want to photograph.
Yeah, I kind of do.
How many women by choice would be sat on a rock with a hat and coat on a beach, or
in your wellies,
or a hammock somewhere, you know, in the Bahamas? Come on, let's have it right.
Well, as you can see, I treat Mrs. C to the ultimate best. There's not everybody gets to sit on this rock with me, you know. Anyway, we are going to go to another location later on, so yeah, please stay with us. Please like and subscribe, and if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified of the next videos that come out. We are out a lot, or I am out a lot. I try and do as much as I can, different things.
Get notified when to turn
when to turn off. She is so cheeky. This is why I've stopped bringing her out. This is not nice.
Oh, no,
this is what I have to put up with, guys. You know, you think she's lovely and sweet. No, not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so till next time, ciao for now. See you soon. Say bye-bye, wife.
Wife.
Gives a kiss, you.
Oh, do I have to on camera?